welcome to Stub Stories. I'm Sylvia. I'm the friend that gets you into shows, yet you don't know what I do for a living.
And I'm Ricky. I'm the friend that's probably begging you to come to shows with me for bands that you've never heard of. This week, we're talking Madonna.
Yes, it's the episode I've been, I guess, leading up to my whole entire life. So, yeah, this is it, guys. This is the ultimate podcast episode that you'll hear from us. Well, from me anyway.
I've
So
been
don't listen
really
after this.
I've been so excited for this episode because we're almost I guess we're complete opposites in terms of our Madonna journey. You have seen Madonna a million times. I saw Madonna for the first time. So it'd be cool to get your view on that show, my view on that show, and then you'll know all the nerdy ins and outs of every little piece of that show. And I was kind of lost for parts of it, but I kind of also loved that too.
So I guess leading up to it, to the show, did you look at any spoilers? Did you just want to go in and be like, hey, this is brand new to me?
I mean, I definitely checked the set list. I check the set list for every show. It doesn't matter what it is. I guess to me, I don't know. After going to so many shows, I'm never really surprised by what I hear because now that I'm older, most of the shows I go to tend to be bigger shows where the production is lined up with the music. So you're not really going to get that many changes each night. So to me, it's more, I like to kind of know what they're going to play. And then that way I feel like I pay more attention to the actual production of the show and instead of wondering what's going to be next. I kind of know, but I like to see how are they going to transition into that? What's it going to be like in the audience when it goes from this song to that song? And some of the songs I don't know, I like to listen to as much as possible leading up to the show. So that way, even if I don't know the words, I can still follow along instead of just being like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
yeah, I
Oh,
did that. I watched a couple TikToks of some of the shows prior to her break. In those, I guess I was more focused on how she's performing, and you don't get the whole view of the stage or any of the production. So all of that was a complete surprise to me, which was very interesting.
yeah. Read every spoiler leading up to it because I do not like surprises. And I want to prepare myself for getting into it. So I like to hear what other fans are. I follow all the Madonna news sites.
Yeah.
There's sites that have been around for almost 40 years. And so I follow those
Wow.
sites. And there's some super fans that I also follow. And watching it start in England and then head to Europe and then come back to Brooklyn. So I kept, okay, all right, the set list kind of stays the same. All right, people are complaining there's no express yourself in there. That
Mm.
she had I Will Survive. But when she hit Boston, that changed. The set list did change. So it's a very different thing for Madonna because her set list, as far as I know, all these years have never, she stays to that because everything is built around the story that she takes you on from beginning to end. Doesn't matter which tour. She'll start here and there's different acts as a play for her, for her life or whatever is going on in her life at the time. And this one was no different where it takes you on this journey. And the surprise was she did play Express Yourself acoustically for the first time. And I thought that was amazing. And it was that one of those moments where you get out your phones and you're doing all that. But yeah, so I did do my Madonna homework before going to it to fully understand what I was walking into before I got there. So yeah. So I'm glad that you did the same thing.
Yeah. As a like I was saying earlier, as a very baseline Madonna fan, I was very excited that Express Yourself was on there because it's a classic. It's a one of the pillar Madonna songs. So as a person who's seeing her for the first time, that's what I
Yep.
want out of the
Yeah.
show is like I want to hear the songs that I grew up with, or in this case, the songs that were out before I was born.
How
And then
dare
into
you?
those. Well, I mean,
I'm just
there's
kidding.
something I could do with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it was just so cool, and then but I also like how it was acoustic. It wasn't the version I'm familiar with, but it was a version where I was like, "Oh, I need a recorded acoustic version of this song now."
Yeah. Yeah,
So good.
exactly. I would love all these alternative versions to these songs. I mean, I'm sure she'll do a live album, I'm guessing, it usually goes that way. I would love that. And I think the one song that she had I think she had never played live was Bad Girl, and when she played that with her daughter playing piano, which, Mercy James, like, she's amazing. I like, at that age to be playing piano in front of all those people night after night, oh, I couldn't do that now. I mean, I
Oh,
don't have the talent, but it's just amazing to watch, or even David, her son, playing guitar and flying through the air in that the window pane, I call it, right? So, yeah, that was is really cool to seeing these different versions of the songs. And also leading up to it, I know it wasn't a full band. So I was very like, how is this gonna work out? Is she gonna get, people gonna go after her for being like, "Why are you playing recorded music and with limited musicians," right? And I thought that there was so much going on stage that it didn't matter. There was just enough live instrument playing for what it was, for this production, and I've never seen anything like it. Number 1 Madonna show ever will still be the first one I saw because, again, I was 12,
yeah.
and that was probably my first show ever, like, live music show. So, as you can hear, my voice is not well today because I sang for 2 nights in a row of Madonna. So, yeah, and I might have cried a little because there's some moments in the show where you're just like, I thought the part with her mom and David's
Mhm.
mom was touching, but then once you come to the Michael Jackson part too, and just all like remembering everybody who's passed away, like Keith Haring and just everybody, I'm like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." Just sitting there watching and how big they were on those screens, and because they were
Yeah.
larger than life, and she portrayed that very, very well. So it was, yeah, it top and again, this is I have to say, it's number 3 on my Madonna, of all time. So
Okay.
so
Wait,
number w
night
yeah,
1 or night 2 is number 3?
night 2 is number
Okay,
3,
nice.
and I will explain why.
That was a very confusing sentence also that I just said.
Yeah,
Night 1
but
or
I
night
knew what
2
you
was
meant.
number 3, and I was like, "Did I just confuse myself?" Like,
Okay, so, go let's start at the beginning because my mind is very chaotic, and so I'll try to wrangle this in. When you add Madonna to the mix, and it just we'll also put up a photo of my Apple Watch, and it'll explain the whole story because it was 2 alerts that came up during the show. One was saying it's very loud, and number
Mhm.
2 was my heart rate was very high while I was standing, not running. It's over 120 beats, and I'm like, I took a photo of that because 'cause I'm like, "This explains my whole Madonna existence." It's loud and my heartbeat's high. So, the Virgin Tour in 1985 is still number 1 to me. Beastie Boys opened up, I went with my dad, and and that's how my Madonna journey began. My dad passed away a week later, so it was the last thing I did with him that was fun. Now I'm turning into Madonna because she cried on stage on the 2nd night, and we'll get into that. And then the second number 2 on my Madonna tour list will be the Reinvention Tour in 2004. And that was because it was the first time it was back at the Centrum in Worcester, and the first show I had second to last seats, so I was, like, nosebleeds all the way up, and then the Reinvention Tour, I was on in the 2nd row. So and that was the time when my career was taking off, and I'm like, "Wow, I really have come a long way," and it was really special because it was the same venue. Because at that time, Fleet Center was happening, but I think the Democratic Convention was there, so they had to do it at the Centrum. So that will always remain number 2 because it was the greatest hits tour. It was everything, and it was, like, every phase of Madonna, right, until now, this 40 years later, which was the Celebration Tour or is the Celebration Tour. So and when I say the 2nd night of the Celebration Tour, the first night, it was the first show after her break for the holidays, which is something she never does, but it just I guess it happened that way, right? The holidays happen, get a little break. Um, and I felt like she was trying to get into that space again of touring. I mean, that's a lot. That's 38 trucks were loaded into tractor trailers loaded into TD Garden. That's a lot. That's a lot of production.
wow.
So to get every little bit of that, the pyro, the laser, there's just so much going on that I felt like she was trying to make sure nothing was messed up because she's a perfectionist and rightly so, right? So by the 2nd night, she's more, okay, I can do this is cool. I got it. I'm in my groove. I get this crowd. And she talked more in between songs. Just, hey, I've been doing this for 40 years and and I'm still here and I'm just so grateful and I will never forget where I came from. And this is my journey that I'm going to tell you about. And in the audience that night also was her sister, and she's married to Joe Henry, the singer. So I thought that was really cool. And she goes, I'm singing some of these songs for my sister because she was on this journey with me early on. So about her mom and all those things. So it was really, I think that's the difference in this tour is it's very personal. Not that the other ones weren't, but she's letting her guard down. And that's the best Madonna. That's the Madonna back in the early days, I connected with, right? So she's always been the soundtrack to everything I've done. Not a lot of people know this, Fabio knows, but I've started writing a book a long time ago. I have not finished it, and it was just about how I got into the business and all this stuff. And each chapter of my book is a Madonna song. It's named after a Madonna song. So I don't know what the title will be. It's not finished. And my mom used to always be like, finish the book. Will you please finish that book? And I just haven't, but I will at some point. But yeah, so every chapter is a Madonna song. So anyway, it's just to say she's been an important part not only of my life but of a lot of people's lives for 4 decades, and pop culture in general. She's changed so much. She used to fight sexism back in the day. Now she's fighting ageism. So to see her out there at 65 doing what she's doing, all props to her because I can't do that now.
Oh, no,
So
I was tired just standing, so
yeah. I mean, and she wasn't out of breath. I was close. I had first row for both nights. The second night, I was standing next to her kids. In the beginning, they came out just to watch her do in the beginning sequence. And I'm like, don't be the crazy old lady next to the children, like wanting a picture with these children. And I didn't. I was very cool about it. But I'm like, oh my God, there's her daughter. Whoa. I'm like, idiot, stop doing that. You're creeping her out or something. But it was great. It it was it just blew me away. I didn't think Madonna could blow me away more, and she did. So if you can go see this tour, it doesn't matter. These legends aren't going to be keeping doing this forever. So if you have the opportunity, even to get a last minute ticket, like my friends did, who I didn't even think like Madonna, they're like, we had to. They released some tickets day of show, and they took advantage of it, and they went and they said it was one of the best shows they've ever seen. Period. From any artist. That's my advice. Fabio went with me on the first night, our producer, one of our producers, and I'm sure he has some things he could say about it too. I saw the videos and I think Tony took some lives, his partner Tony there took some lives that I didn't realize till afterwards. Nothing to say, Fabio?
No, I mean, the show was amazing. Honestly, it was probably one of the best shows that I've been to and that I've seen. The production blew my mind. I mean, everything that it just felt like the screens coming down from the top and displaying the stories and the pyrotechnics, the
Bob the
singeing
drag
of
queen
Bob the drag queen. That I
married
mean,
your worlds from RuPaul's, which
I'm a
I don't
huge
watch,
drag
but you
queen
do.
fan. Oh my god, yeah. So having him there was like that was great. He was a great MC, I guess we could say,
yeah.
for the
I had no
for the show.
idea who Bob the Drag Queen was. So I looked at the flyer like day of, and I saw, or at the TD website, and I saw featuring Bob the Drag Queen. So I legitimately thought that Bob the Drag Queen was opening the show and performing a full set. And then that's not what happened. But it was like, Bob was awesome. Then the next day, I was telling my wife about it, and I was like, "Do you know who Bob the Drag Queen is?" So she opens her TikTok, and it's Bob the Drag Queen every other video. She's like, I know very much who Bob is. He's like my favorite person in the world. Like,
He's hilarious. He's great. Yeah, he was really good. So having that mirror come together there, that was excellent. And she definitely played off of him quite a bit.
Yeah, for the first night we got VIP. One comment from Fabio was, "So this is what you do for a living when you go backstage and stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, you've gone to other shows, but no. Yeah, okay, cool."
The backstage was everything. I mean, the labeling alone for like the makeup, the wigs, like I'm all about organization and like I'm peeking in. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, because the dressing rooms are the dressing rooms are under the stage. That's why the stage is really high, and they those quick changes when she heads back, and it's all behind and under the stage. Yeah. So I had seen it before in her last tour. Well, she didn't do Rebel Heart. Rebel Heart was the last tour I'd seen her on, and she had the same setup backstage. And then the last tour was canceled in Boston because she had injured herself. So that was the one that was going to be the really intimate one, I think, at the Box Center, and I was really looking forward to that, but that did not happen. So it's been a minute since we've seen Madonna live, but I think it was worth the wait for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, absolutely. It was a great experience going through.
and Fabio's still eating the candy from the other night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where did you guys? So where did this candy come from? Was it a Backstage Candy or like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
it's her
it was
favorite candies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was from the
they
lounge.
had like a station. Yeah, so nerd alert, I was still am a member of the Madonna fan club called the the Iconers.
Hell yes.
My mom signed me up for it in the late 80s. And there used to be a magazine. I still have all of them. The fanzines that like you had pictures, because this is before the goddamn internet, Facebook and stuff. So it had a letter from Madonna that I thought was signed, but it really wasn't. It was just a stamp. But as a kid, I'm like, this is amazing. Oh, she's telling me what she's doing. She's having her protein bars, whatever the hell. Like it was whatever she wanted to say that month. So every month you get this issue of Icon. And I had I'll share my icon photo here you'll check that out on some of the extras here for this episode. So I still have that. And so this was part of that. So it said, welcome Iconers. And I took Fabio and his husband, Tony, and we went backstage, did the tour, got a photo on the stage also. And then they had some food backstage and the legends, like that little section of TD Garden set aside for VIPs. And we also got a tour jacket that came with the package, and it's just a bunch of other things, stickers of the laminate that gets you nothing. I always laugh at those. Those are the feel good laminates.
And people so many of those.
They're feel good.
Not Madonna ones, but I have.
I know. They're like, people are wearing them. I'm like, I'm not wearing this. I have friends here that actually work in the show, and they were like, who's this clown? What happened to you? It's cool. I mean, it was a cool laminate because it was this silver foil. It was really nice. Everything was just top notch. Even the merch. Yeah. It was like, I'm so broke right now because I bought so much merch. I was saying before the podcast. Yeah. I have 400. I looked at my statement. Yeah. Yeah. I have 400 Madonna shirts through the years. OGs that now on this tour, what she's doing is they're remaking the old merch and putting the new spin on it and putting the Celebration Tour logo on it. And that's why I had I'm not wearing it right now, but I had my original 1990 Blonde Ambition tour jacket that my mom bought me for $199 back in the day. And it was a star of the show because everybody wanted to take a picture with my jacket. I felt like I was famous. It was really hilarious that night. And they were reselling the new version of that said Celebration Tour. But it was cool to see the old merch. I'm like, oh, I have that shirt. So I didn't buy a lot of like this shirt, but I did buy this one because it was a slightly different take and I didn't have this one. And I got a long sleeve shirt it lists all her tours on the sleeves. And I thought that was cool. And it's red and I don't wear red. So if I'm buying a red shirt, it's because Madonna. I don't wear it. This is my sticky and sweet Madonna. I don't even know what arm I have. And so yeah, there's a lot of merch, but second night I bought another jacket because I can't have enough Madonna jackets. I bought it's a rain jacket for spring because, I got to have Madonna in all seasons. So that's what happened to me. She's the one artist that I turn into the person I don't like when I'm working a show because they're just super fans. I mean, I shouldn't say don't like them, but I'm just out of control. And I was that person, and my voice is very sultry right now, but it's not because I am sexy. It's because I am sick because I scream sang for 2 nights in a row. And she hits the stage late. That's just Madonna. And if you don't like it, then don't go. That's just what it is.
Is that an every tour thing? Mm-hmm. She's a late starter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. It's always been that way. So the first night was, I think, after 10 when she went on stage, but 2 hours she was on stage.
Oh, right? Yeah, she didn't stop. It was a late night, but it was worth it.
Yeah, coming home at 2 o'clock in the morning. Then the next night I came home at 4 in the morning because it was torrential downpours and I couldn't leave the area. But then I hit every bar in the area with my jacket and it was the after party. I
Nice.
was the Madonna after party. So it was great.
That's awesome.
But I mean, it was a good week. And like I said, if you have a chance to go see this tour, definitely do. I was already looking at other markets that I could probably go. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I was gonna ask you, are you gonna hit the road for any of these?
I was looking at like Tampa in Florida, Fabio.
We were looking at Miami too.
Oh, you were you? Well,
You know,
I
just
think
thinking
because it's close to your place in Fort Lauderdale. We could go
just
there
a
and
hop,
drive
skip, and a
down.
jump. Yeah.
Oh my God, we should plan it. I think
I was
when
talking
is
to
it?
Tony
Is it
about it.
March? It's around my birthday. I think that would be a great birthday present to myself again.
Yeah. Again, 2 years in a row.
Again, 2 years in a row.
Do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's look into that after this.
I'll make a note of that.
We're planning more shows and
More.
we'll I'm sure there'll be another Madonna podcast, I hope.
I feel like there has to be, even if
there
we
has
just
to be.
discuss all of your shirts. There's so much to talk about. We have to keep it going.
Sylvia did a
Tour.
great thing. You did that one shirt a day for a year.
Oh, I did that. Oh my
You
gosh.
did that. That was great.
During,
And you,
yeah. I was at the MDNA tour. Yeah. MDNA
think so,
tour.
yeah.
I did a shirt a day of
Nice.
anytime she did a tour stop, I would wear a different shirt because I would, so it's on
That's
my,
awesome.
actually, it's on my Facebook still, I think.
Think
And
so.
I would say where she was. I'm like, I don't even work for her. And I'm promoting this. And people are like, we're waiting for it. I had it on my Instagram for a while. I think I archived all those because it was taking up the whole feed. But yeah, my Facebook, it's still there. Yeah. So I did a shirt a day and it still didn't cover, obviously, because I've over 400. She didn't do 400 shows. So yeah. And I forget what shirts I have. When I recently moved, I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I love this shirt, so I'm starting to dig them out, but I don't have the closets for all of them. So I have a big bin. And so, yeah.
Who does? I don't know anybody who has that kind of closet space. Like,
I wish.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Next podcast, we'll have Madonna on and she can tell me you're an idiot for buying all those shirts. Thank you.
Yes, please.
But thank you.
That's so cool. We looked at the merch. We didn't end up getting any at the show, but I'm pretty sure my friend Brendan did load up his cart on the website while we were waiting for her to hit the stage.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get anything, but I'm sure I'll get something at some point. I have one Madonna shirt, but it's a bootleg shirt that I bought a couple years ago that I wear all the time. I didn't actually end up wearing it to the show, which was ridiculous because it was my one moment to do it, but I don't know. I don't even actually, I think it might actually be in the laundry, which is probably why I didn't wear it.
Most of my stuff is legit, authorized merch. But there's some really good ones back in the day that were bootleg and they were better than some of the actual merch. And I have some of those and I'm like, damn, I wish this was an official thing, but maybe that's why I didn't wear it. Cause she'd be like, that's not an official shirt. I don't like you. Get out. Leave my show.
My bootleg. So there's this company, they're called Das Bootleg, and the shirts look like you made them in your basement. They're not good at all. And I have a Madonna one. I have a Prince one, David Lee Roth from Van Halen, and there's another one I have too, Yoda or something.
Yeah, my friend Jeff got me one that says Madonna, but it's in the font of Metallica with the Justice for All.
I saw somebody at the show had that on, and I'm not like the biggest Metallica guy, but that's kind of awesome. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that I gotta find that on the internet.
Yeah, obviously not authorized, but I've gotten people just that they're like, what is Sylvia like? Madonna. And so I just get a lot of shirts and I've collected them. And again, I keep buying them. I'm like, make me stop. But
can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it was a great week.
So there was like a Vogue competition during the song Vogue. Judges. No, on stage. Like she had like I was like, I don't know my section. So like, okay, speaking of sections, our section was really interesting. So my friend Brendan is the one who really got this going for us to go. He texted me a couple months ago and he was like, hey, we finally have a chance to go see Madonna. We've been talking for years about going to see Madonna and Cher. And anytime either of them tour, we did have tickets to a Cher show, but she canceled it. So that didn't happen. But we've never made it happen. And we finally had an opportunity to go. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So he sent me an option for tickets. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. By the time he went to buy them, they were already gone. So we ended up in a very different section from where I thought we were going to be. So walking in, I thought we were lower bowl, other end of the garden, but facing the stage, and we weren't. We were we were upper bowl, but towards the front of it, but on the side of the stage.
Mhm.
So we were closer than we would have been if we were in the back. But we kind of missed those back screen type things. And our section was kind of dull because we were looking around and we're like, oh man, there was a guy with a yellow tank top down on the ground who did not stop moving from the minute the opening DJ guy came out. But the rest of our section, there were some people dancing and stuff. A lot of people are just kind of taking in the show in a way that I wasn't expecting them to take it in for Madonna. I was expecting everybody up, everybody dancing, kind of going crazy. And that just wasn't the case for where we were. It's kind of sad. But okay, this Vogue competition thing. So was that her daughter that was the judge? One of the judges? Like there was like a little kid that danced at the very end.
Yes.
That's her daughter?
Yeah, one of her daughters.
Cool. Okay. And then, okay, so I guess Madonna was the judge, right? She was the one with the numbers?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
She usually has guest judges. The first night she did not have a guest judge. The second night she did. I didn't catch who it was, but she was really cool. But like at different shows, like they'll have a celebrity judge with her, and I think that's
cool.
pretty cool. They call somebody on stage and you're judging together. So, but yeah,
Nice.
that was a fun segment, and the quick changes that she did into those wigs. I can't believe how fast that was
So
done.
crazy.
Yeah. So the second night, I was first row, but against like the one of the catwalks, and I didn't realize it was her walking back, and my friend was like, "Yo, that's her," and I'm like, God, I'm like, I missed it. So anytime she'd come really close, I'm like, I just froze. I'm like, thank God I've never met her. I'd be like such an idiot. Like, what? That's her? It's not like she has this crazy disguise that you don't know it's her. It's her show, right?
Yeah.
But I thought that was funny that she's the one intimidating. I'm not afraid of anything in this business. I've just gone along with whatever. And I think I've had the opportunity to meet her, and I've always said no because it had to be the right setting. Because that's how she'll always look at you, I think. I don't know. I think that's in general how it goes. But man, if I was doing something cool for her, then maybe, I don't know. You just kind of have those fan dreams of we'll work together someday, and I won't
feel like
be freaky.
the only person that would make me starstruck, well, A, it would have been Prince. B, currently it's Jay-Z, because anybody else that I love, I've either met them or it's Bruce Springsteen, and I don't feel like I'll ever meet Bruce Springsteen. And if I did, I feel like he'll be really cool. And Jay-Z, I feel like will be really, really cool, but he's the person that I don't even know what I would say. I don't even know if words would come out of my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would say something really ridiculous, and she would be like, "Get her out of my sight, please." But like, hey, want to see my tattoos of you? Because I'm really not weird. Thank you. No, I don't know. Maybe I think I've told you I was an editor on a book for Jack Kerouac for the estate. And in that book, in the intro, I do thank Madonna because it was a soundtrack during the editing of that book during COVID quarantine. So yeah, she was in there. That was part of my soundtrack. So I hope someday she'll see that and be like, oh, this girl likes me.
That's awesome.
Nerd.
Because I was saying earlier, it's my first time seeing her. So I'm going into it. Give me the greatest hits. Give me the songs I've known for my entire life, because I don't know if I'll ever get to see Madonna again. You know what I mean? So I kind of have one shot at doing it realistically. And she kind of played everything. I understand why she did shortened versions of songs because there's only so much time. But a full version of Crazy for You would have been very cool to see. I was really shocked that she didn't play Borderline. I don't know.
I've seen that a number of times. I think It was either doing Borderline or Burning Up. Usually that's her guitar song.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as I saw, oh, you're doing Burning Up, and I get why Burning Up was the one, because that was, you know,
That was
I
sick.
think.
I didn't know. I don't think I knew that she ever played CBGBs. Like she never.
Mhm,
I don't know if it's just I don't know that part of her story, or if it's like
mhm.
he's just not one of the people that I think of when I think of CBGBs. So it was really cool to hear that
Yeah,
backstory and watch her play guitar and stuff.
yeah, you saw that part where she was trying to get into the club and couldn't, and that was cool because, like, all those characters are, like, you know who they are just by who her friends were, right? Jean Michel and, Keith Haring and, Warhol. You know what I'm saying? It's all her friends trying to get into this club, and now you're looking back, man, that's ridiculous. Those people they just are such cultural icons, and they couldn't get into the club. They weren't cool enough.
Yeah.
And to watch that, oh, you had those issues. And it was cool to see that her on the other side of the velvet rope, right? So,
Yeah, that was awesome. I loved the nods that she did throughout the
mm,
show. The nod to Prince was there were a couple actually throughout the show,
yeah,
but that was really, really, really
yeah,
cool.
her son playing that Prince guitar,
That
you
was her
know,
son that played.
that was her son. That was
Oh,
David. Yeah.
that's sick.
I was just like, damn, he's such a great guitar player. And his guitar teacher is actually my friend Monte Pittman, who's Madonna's guitarist. He taught Madonna really how to shred, because Monty's
That's awesome.
he's touring with Ministry right now.
Oh
And
wow.
he's a total rock and roll guy, and he started touring with her in 2001. And his first appearance, I think, was on the David Letterman show with her, and that's when she became more guitar. The picture behind me there, when she's playing guitar, that's one of the pictures, like, Monty gave me that he had her sign for me.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, so and also Mercy James, that she playing piano, that was Madonna's, pianist, accordionist, Ricky Bajot, that taught her, and he was actually there that night because I think he gives her lessons when he's in the area. So it was really interesting that she uses these amazing world-class musicians and teaching her kids, and her kids are so talented. And
Mm.
even one of the daughters was obviously dancing, and actually both of them. One was the DJ too at the top. Like, yeah,
Oh,
that was
really?
because there's two, yeah, the two younger ones. Yeah. So it was really, really cool to see how they're all part of that. Obviously, the two older kids have their own lives, their own careers, they're doing their thing. But the four younger ones, it's cool to have them on stage and doing stuff with their mom. So,
Yeah, that's so cool. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, that
See all the
was
stuff you're learning? I'm nerding out.
yeah, I had no clue. Like I said, I loved those little nods. The Sam Smith nod was really cool too,
Mhm.
because I'm not the biggest Sam Smith fan, but my wife loves Sam Smith and went to see them when they played the Garden last summer, I think it
Yeah,
was.
it was in August,
Um,
yep.
yeah, and she was just like, it was one of the best shows ever, and I was like, oh, I kind of wish I went. And then to have that little nod, I was like, all right, that's cool.
Yep.
And then that Michael Jackson silhouette dance part at the end was unbelievably awesome.
Yeah, it was, 'cause you start realizing these people are gone, and she's left standing after Prince is gone, Michael Jackson's gone, and Keith Haring, all these people are gone, and you gotta appreciate what you have now. And I think she's just going back, even with her, looking back going, "I'm happy where I am now in my life, and look at everything that I did to get here." And she says, "Never forget where you came from." It's nice to hear her vocalize that, because sometimes I think, like, she forgets who she is. And I mean that in a way of, you don't have to conform to people they always dissing her on social media, or your looks, you're too old. Why are you doing this? You're gross. You don't have to do that. You've proved everything you can. These people will never, ever even reach, like, even a quarter of what you've done. They're keyboard warriors. Don't pay attention to that. You are Madonna. You don't need to do anything to yourself, or you are who you are. I'm glad that this tour is kind of like making people open their eyes and be like, appreciate her. I know there's that thing that goes around and it says, I'm happy I was alive when so and so was doing what they're doing. And I feel that way about Madonna. I'm so lucky to have been born when I was, even though I always laugh about being old, but I'm lucky to be in that area where she started doing her thing. I've been with her for 40 years. I was 10, 50 now. Oof. Just you're like, damn.
That's
Yes,
so
yes,
cool
everybody.
though.
I'm 50.
Well, so when Prince died, literally, I don't think I've ever gotten more text messages in a single day in my entire life.
Mhm.
You would think that Prince and I were best friends. It was
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing was I passed up, and mostly because they were $1 million, basically. But
Mhm.
I've never got to see Prince live. And since then, I'm like, okay, if I have the opportunity to go see, not even just like somebody who's so important to like my musical journey, but this person who's so important to culture, I have to take that opportunity. And that was what this was, where it was like, hey, it's fucking Madonna. There's only 5
Gotta
people
go.
that have one name that are that cool. So you gotta go do it. And it was amazing. And it was so cool. Like, just like you were saying, being in the same room as a person like that, where you're like, oh, I never thought that would ever happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was cool. And it was funny because my dad called me before, and as we were walking over, he's like, oh, where are you? I was I'm walking into the garden to go see Madonna. And he's like, you
What?
Like, you're like,
What?
okay, I don't even know if I knew you were going. I was like, yeah, I probably told you. I don't remember. And he's like, that's kind of awesome. I was like, yeah, I know. And then I talked to him, I don't know, maybe Wednesday or something. And he was like, how was it? Like, it was awesome. Like, we were talking about the show and stuff. And he's like, yeah, wasn't the biggest Madonna fan, but the songs I really like. And I also think it's really cool that you got to see her live. And I was like, yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah.
It's good. So, Fabio, did you get this pretzel?
I did not get my salted pretzel, unfortunately.
Is that a thing? Like, every show you go to, you got to get a pretzel?
Oh, yeah. Got to get a salted pretzel. It's my thing.
Nice.
Unfortunately,
Notice his voice too.
yeah.
He was scream singing too.
Okay.
Scream
Don't let him
singing.
fool you. Scream singing. I saw a lot of selfies with Madonna in the background. I was waiting for her to come down and slap the phone off his hands.
I'm literally
We were-
like, man, stand still. She's very spry for her age. I'll give her that.
Yeah. Well, I know. Anytime she looked at me, I'm like,
Yeah. No, I didn't get my pretzel. I was stuck with craft services.
Well, it happens.
oh my God, you're
Sorry.
such a bouge bitch.
That chicken sandwich really didn't do it for me, but that dill spiced pickle, that was pretty good. That's good. I'll do with that.
Nice.
I spoil my family.
Yeah, this is all you.
My fault. My fault.
Literally, since I was this big, this is what
Yeah.
I am accustomed to. So
Yeah. They would call me, not him, but another cousin of ours. Do I have to wait in this front line here? I'm like, yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but it was done. She wasn't being weird. It was just that's what she was used to. So she's like, do I have to? Can I just go in the back way? I'm like, no. It was like a Jay-Z show too. I was like, not my show,
That's awesome.
but go enjoy it and
Yeah.
let me know how it goes.
That's awesome.
I don't get it. Like, again, that was not me. Like, I just say
It was him. He's he doesn't. Bobby has low expectations because he's just or whatever you want to give me, I'll receive. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm very low key, chill. Yeah, I'm good.
Although
That's
if I
nice.
didn't include him in the front row, he would have cut me. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, just
Cut me out of his life. Cut me in general.
No, it was a great experience. It was good. Free parking too, which was amazing. Or validated
That's always
parking.
that does it for me.
That's the
free
thing.
parking.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's how you get me.
Should
out
do
of
a
the
thing
house.
about parking. Yeah.
We could talk parking. One more Madonna thing. During Ray of Light, so does she always fly through the air? 'Cause
No.
that was very cool.
No. And all the tours she's done, she has. Oh no, she has not. Her dancers have, but she has never done anything like that, and that was really cool.
That's sick. I was
Can we
hoping
talk
we'd
about
get
her
like
dancers though?
oh
Her
what?
dancers were
yeah.
amazing. She had
unreal.
the choreography was excellent. I mean,
Mhm.
they were right there in front of us, and you could literally see them. They were hitting every single note point. They were 100% dedicated to every move. And I literally, I'm just like, are you tired? You seem
Yeah.
exhausted. It was
I
just, I mean, they had a lot of, she had a lot of dancers,
Yeah.
lot of dancers.
I
The
kept thinking.
boxing
Go ahead.
choreography, how the lights made like the boxing ring ropes
Yes.
and stuff. That was
Absolutely.
one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Yeah.
That was impressive.
it was amazing.
Oh, that's, what was it? That thing where they came up from the center stage and it was spinning around and they were like dancers,
The
like
cage.
in the cage. Yeah. That was
yeah.
That was hot.
Well,
That
Oh yeah. Yeah.
choreography
That was a
was
lot of
hot.
groins in your face. It was great.
It was just a lot of,
I was like, yeah, no wonder my Apple Watch is like,
appreciation
what
for
is
the male
happening?
form.
What are you doing?
Say.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
in this, can we just take appreciation that there's one of her dancers, her job is to not only dance, but to make out with Madonna every night.
That's sick. What a sick job
And you get
description.
paid. And you get paid.
You get
You
paid.
get paid.
It's awesome.
I don't get. Yeah, that was a lot. I'm thinking about
was a
that. I'm
lot.
just like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I kept wondering, I know it's such at a different level. Like I said, even I do deal with a lot of VIP stuff, VIP companies and stuff. And I was so impressed with the quality of everything, just everything from beginning to end. It was just quality. And again, the
Yeah.
merch and everything was so organized. And I mean,
Mhm.
no wonder it takes 38 tractor
Trucks, trailers
Yeah.
to get everything in place. I mean, it
It's
was
just
impressive.
you know, I mean, some of the people that had passes that said people movers, and I'm like, oh, your job is to move people around
Mhm.
from place to place, and I'm like, that's an actual title. So it was really interesting being that close and looking at the different passes and what people were doing. Because I think I'm also the worst person to go to a show with because, yes, before the show starts, I'm gonna be examining why things are happening and
Yeah.
wondering different things. And that's one of the things I noticed was the passes and what they said. And I'm like, wow, there's just all these people involved in putting this on. And my one gripe, there's one gripe with this tour, and Fabio will agree with me. There is no tour program.
No tour program. This is
Does
like
she
the
usually
one
have one?
show.
Yes, I collect them. I
Yep,
have
so
every
do
single
I.
one. Even to
Every show do I
the
go to.
girly show that I didn't even go to. I found it and I paid a stupid amount of money because they're works of art in themselves.
Yeah.
And then because then you start learning the dancers' names, you just want to know everything about them. You're going down that rabbit hole, and there was none. And I wish, although on the Boston stop they added different merch items that weren't on the other one, so maybe they will at some point. Maybe that's why
Maybe
we
at
have
some
to go to
point, sure.
Miami. Maybe
you
she'll
gotta do it,
invite
yeah.
us. Maybe she'll
Probably.
invite us to go down. I don't
I feel like seeing Madonna in Miami would also be a pretty sick experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the energy would be kind of insane.
Boston was insane, I think. And well, I was also in this section of crazy people who pay crazy amounts of money to go see her.
Mhm.
So you're like,
So-
although there was one lady next to us that she was just complaining the whole time because the stage is
Really?
really high.
Yeah.
The stage is really high. So in your first row, it's honestly the next seats. I don't want first row. I want to be on the stage in the back because that's where she talks to you. And I want her to talk to me, but in a group
Yeah.
setting. So I'm not afraid. So I want to be on that second smaller stage in the back because that's where she plays the acoustic. That's where she does her thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think when we look at Miami, that's what we got to look. So everybody like, oh, but see, now we're giving away the secrets, and now people are going to fight for our
Well,
seats.
every episode has to have a little bit of something.
Okay, yeah. So so tour program and different seating for the next one that we'll go stalker at. So
For
we have
sure.
until April. There's a bunch of shows until April. So let's figure out our other show that we're going to go to.
Our next getaway. There we go.
Did you guys do dinner anywhere or drinks anywhere before the show?
No, because we had VIP.
Oh, yeah. Oh, must be nice.
The second night I did have sushi beforehand, but
Nice.
The food and beverage was already offered.
oh, and the drink tickets.
Oh, the drink tickets
was
Oh,
a
I wish I had one.
little rope thing that she had, and
That's
I
awesome.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
use it because I wanted to keep it. So I
kept mine.
Yeah, so they gave us two drink tickets each, and so I only had one drink because I wanted to keep the other one because it's basically one of those little like rosary bead counter things that said Madonna on it. It was like
That's cool.
it was insane. It was like metal. It wasn't like again quality from beginning to end. So
Yeah.
Those little details, like that's so cool. I guess you have to probably be an artist on the level of Madonna where it's you've kind of done everything there is to do.
Mhm.
How do you make it so uniquely amazing 40 years
Yep.
into your career? And it's custom ass drink tickets. That's fucking awesome. Nobody else is doing that. Most people
Yeah.
are like, yeah, I don't care. Like,
Yeah, or even the merch. If you look at the inside the tag, it's it actually has her name on it, so it's her brand.
That's cool.
Because I mean, you go to a show, it's like, oh, whatever it is,
Gildane or Gildane or
Bella,
whatever.
yeah, or Bella
Yeah.
Canvas, or no, it says Madonna Celebration Tour, and it's stamped on
That's
the
cool.
back, and so that you're not getting, no offense to Hanes, but it's not like a Hanes beefy tea.
Yeah.
It's not going to scratch your skin, so good shit. So yeah,
Quality
again, from
content.
beginning to end, quality. Madonna's quality. So I mean, sets the standards. Yeah. So again, people don't see me happy like this. So I apologize for scaring anybody that I was hugging or just smiling like an idiot this week. It's because of Madonna, and my voice is gone because of Madonna, but she's worth every bit of it. Again, soundtrack to my life, soundtrack to a lot of people's lives, and I'm glad she's still top of the game. And I can't say enough about that tour. Go see it, and if you don't talk to me.
Yeah, I back that. Even as a first timer, I back that. Don't talk to me if you don't go.
Yeah, don't talk to me. Yeah, idiots. And that's marketing right there.
There it is. It's funny.
Marketing in a nutshell.
I'm going to a punk show on Saturday night at the Paradise. So it's funny that I started my week with Madonna, and I'm ending at the Garden, and I'm ending my week at the Paradise with Motion City soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh,
so
that's great.
Should be.
I mean, actually, if she had played Borderline, she does the rock version of it. It's so great. There's a guitar solo in it. It's very, very, very rock, and I love that. I wish you would do an album of Madonna songs, but just a rock version,
that would be awesome.
Fans do. I would love that, and even an acoustic one. I would buy that in a heartbeat. And people are like, oh, she's gonna do a new record. That's cool, but I like the old stuff too, and I think that's what you realized for this tour. Let's celebrate my whole career, and I'm not gonna throw in a new song for you that you don't. I mean, I'll know it, but some people won't.
Yeah.
Cool.
What do you think's next for Madonna? You think we got another tour coming up, or?
Yeah. Okay, so she's maybe working on a movie, and I'm available for helping in any way you want me to.
Imagine if her team hit you up and they're like, "We need shirts. Do you have any we can borrow?"
Can we look at your collection and see what you have missed? Sure. Yeah. That's actually a good idea. A book of Madonna shirts, all the Madonna shirts. There we go.
That would be really cool. That's cool for somebody like me who's just, I want to see what that has looked like for 40 years. Mm-hmm. I don't even care that much about, I almost never buy band merch really anymore, but I love seeing the old designs and kind of watching the way it's grown, especially for somebody like that.
Yeah. Sick. Fabio, write that down. That's our project. We're going to do that. All right. We'll
T-shirt book. Got it. That's
no, why are you laughing? It's true.
Hell yeah.
It'll come out on sale, Paradise Press. All of a sudden, I'm crisscrossing everything with Jack. Oh, did I tell you I wore my Reed Kerouac shirt to the Madonna show?
She did. She did.
That's awesome.
She was influenced by Jack. So I just figured to marry my two friends that have been the focal point of my life for a long time now. So yeah, I wore my Reed Kerouac. So she's like, why is this girl wearing this shirt? Well, get out of here. But now she knows. That was me. Find me. Oh, God. What a nerd.
Okay. Nerds are
not
good.
Madonna.
No. Should we get towards the wrap up part of it?
Okay. So outro, end of the show. Ricky.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're at the end of our show. So be sure to give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yes. And be sure to subscribe to Stub Stories on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And don't forget to participate with a write-in and let us know about your Stub Stories. Did you guys go to Madonna? Let us know.
Better have.
Are there right? Are there any songs that you were hoping to hear, or did anything crazy happen to you on your way in or even on the way home from the show? Let us know.
Yeah. And let us know what your favorite stub is and the story behind it. You can email us at info@stubstories.net.
Or you can slide into our DMs on Instagram, where we might just share your story on a future episode. And for that, I'm Ricky.
I'm Sylvia. Sorry if it sucks. We tried.
Yeah, and check out our website, stubstories.net, and on Insta, Stub Stories, because that's where it all started.
Yeah, we'll be on we're on other platforms too, but so watch for more content to start popping up on those as well. Now that we're live in the game.
Official. Thanks.
Yeah. Follow our YouTube too.